Tell me if you can see my screen.
From my end, I can't see anything.
Please, who else cannot see anything?
I can see your screen.
Okay, MC, can you like try to log back in?
All right, thank you.
So has everybody been able to get to this point? I don't know if we had time to watch the video over the weekend. So today we'll be doing formatting. So we'll just be designing like each of the graphs. And I'll just show you how. We'll start with designing the page, then including titles and the rest of them. So I'll just start with a new page. That's page 4. So like I said in the last class, you have to align your design canvas. So go to format. Format is what you use for designing. Then canvas settings, then change it to middle. So now that we have that, for our dashboards, we can always start with a theme. So let's say you want a particular theme for your dashboard, a particular design. You can go to view and select the kind of design you want. You can do that. Select themes from any of displays, but it's always very limiting. So it's just better to start afresh, or you create your own thing. So here I'll just tell you how we can impute designs and so on and so forth on our canvas. So we want to go to formats. So just make sure this format is open down. First of all, you have this page information here. You can always change the name of the page. Let's name this page canvas design. When you change it here, it also changes on this page button. If I change this page 3 from page 3 to page, let's say 9, it will also show on this place. So let me just change it back so we're not confused next time. So that's how you change it. You either change it here or you change it here. Then canvas settings. This is where you can always resize your canvas. So I don't know if any one of us has come across like a Tableau report. They're usually long. But for Power BI, most of the reports you see are like usually this 16:9. So you can always adjust it yourself, so you don't limit yourself. Let's say you want to work on a health report that you want to publish online, and like or you want to do something similar to Tableau, you can always resize it here. Either you choose one of these already set what do you call it? Already set sizes, or you choose custom and you change the height and the width yourself. Let's say we want a height of 1.4 and a width of let's say 1.5 bit too much. Let's say 900. Yeah. So with this, you can design here, but you have to increase or zoom in. So you can add everything you want to add. Then you'll be scrolling down to add the other visuals. Then when you publish, it's going to look like a long document. So you can do that, or you can stick to the normal one. So that's for the size. Then for the canvas background, you can always change the background here. Let's say you want it to be this color, you change it. So then always make sure you adjust the transparency. 100% transparent means like it's you can't see the color. That means 100%. So you can always reduce it here. So make sure the color starts showing. So you reduce the transparency, you can change the color. This color is now. Yeah, then adjust it to whichever one you like. And always adjust the transparency. Or if you don't want color, you can always impute your own image. You can always download images and impute it. Let's look for a background. I have a background. Let's try this Contoso logo. Okay, it's not a background, it's just a small logo. I don't know if you can see it properly. Let me just put something there. So this small logo, so it normally should show fully, but it's a very small picture. That's why it's showing small. Let me look for something else. So something like this now. Let's say you have something like this. Maybe you're looking for a makeup brand and you want to do a design for that makeup brand. You can get pictures online. Then obviously you have to adjust the size of this. So let's try that. So this one you have to adjust the width. Let's change the width to 1:50. We want to let's say 1:150. So this is fine. So that's how you import pictures. So obviously when you import this, you can also still adjust the transparency here. So there's no transparency at all, or you just want it, you don't want the background to show too much, so it does not affect the reports. Then you can leave it like this. Let's say it's 6. You can leave it like this. And you can also adjust the fits, fill, normal. So let's just leave it as normal. So this filter pin is just for, I don't really use it. It's going to be to adjust the size, the text, and so on and so forth for the cards, headers, borders. If you want to add borders to your report, you can add. Background is usually white, but you can always change that. So not too much on this. From here, you can also include text and also import pictures with the insert. You can insert a text box. So you just go to insert. Insert is after home. So from here, you can select text box. So let's just try that. Let's create a new page and select a color. Please, everybody can unmute their mic so you can let me know if I'm going too fast or if there's something you don't understand. So let's select a new page. Go to format, open format down. Go to page information and rename that page to Canvas design. Please let me know if you've done that.
Sorry, Tosin, I need to ask, is this in connection with yesterday, the previous class, or is a new topic entirely?
In a way, for this particular section, this one we're just going through the design for the canvas. So this one does not have to do with the visuals. So later on, after we're done with this, we'll work on the visuals. So that one is in connection with yesterday's class. So just do this one. Open a new page. Go to format and select page information. You know where format is now. That data build and format that you brought in yesterday. So you select format. Format is the third one. then select page information, then you can rename it to Canvas design. Has anyone done that?
It is done. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, thank you. So from that, so it's up to you now if you want to bring in a picture or bring in a or use a particular color. Maybe let me just stick to using a color so everybody's on the same page. Let's all select this mustard color. Which color is it now? F0189. Okay. This mustard looking color, the second to the last on the first row. Is it first or the second row? The second to the last on the second row. F0E199.
Yeah.
So let's select that. Then let's put our transparency to 85. So select that and put transparency to 85. Are you done?
Yeah, that's done.
Okay, so now let's insert a text. So from home, on the ribbon from home, you see insert is beside it. On that ribbon, just go to the last segment. You see elements, text, buttons, shape, image. So just select text box.
Sorry, I did not get that.
From insert, can you see insert beside home?
Yeah, I'm there.
On the okay, so go to the last part of that section. Can you see elements? There is text box. They are like
Yeah.
the last so select text box. Okay. Now on inside text box, there's your just put your cursor in that box and name it introduction to Power BI or intro to Power BI. Let's say introduction to Power BI. So for Power BI, when you are designing inside the text box, you have to highlight everything. If not, if you just leave it like this and you put bold, it will not affect it. Do you understand? So make sure everything is highlighted. Then let's change our font. I don't know if we should change this font. But let's leave the font. Let's change the font to Canberra. So highlight everything. Highlight is Control A. Make sure your cursor is inside the text box. Control A. Then change the font to Canberra. The font will show on that list of options below the text box. Change the font to Canberra. Select bold. Make sure it's still highlighted. Then you can change the font size. The font size is beside the font options. Change font size to 20. Then I know, obviously, we're familiar with Microsoft Word. So let's change the arrangement of the text to center. So beside bold, you see bold, italics, underline. Then you can see left, center, and right. So select center so that the text can be in the center. Then we can also change the font color. So beside right, you see a font color. It's an underlined A. So select the drop down. And let's choose which color now. Let's choose this gray. This white, 20% darker. On the third row, the first gray on the third row. Is it gray or ash? So I'll come again after you insert the text box. This gray is light. After you insert the text box, write introduction to Power BI. Highlight everything. In the options that is shown below the text box, select Canberra. Select bold. Align it to the center. That's bold. Beside bold, italics, underline. you see left, then you see center. So select, make sure center is selected. Then change the font size to 20. Font size beside Canberra, or beside the font. Then change that font color menu. The font color menu is beside right. Click the drop down. Let's use a darker shade instead. Let's use the last gray on that row. That white, 60% darker. The last gray on the last row. So that's all. Do we all have this?
Yep.
Okay. So when you want to move this text box, it's always hard. You know, unlike the visuals, you can just select it and move it around. But for this text box, you have to move it from these 3 dots. You see these 3 options at the bottom right corner of the text box. You have to select the text first for it to show up. So you see 3 dots on the bottom right corner. So you click it and you move it around. So just move it around. So try to get to the middle and just make sure you can see a red dot dividing your canvas. Can you see the red dot on my own?
Sorry, I did not even get.
As I move it. When you want to move the text box, you can't move it like you move sliders. See how I move the sliders. For the sliders, I can just select it inside any part of it and just move it. But for the text box, you can't do that. You can't just select and move around. It won't budge. So you have to select inside of it. For this 3 dots icon, like ellipses to show, it's always at the bottom right corner. Can you see it on your end?
Yeah.
Select the text box and look at the corner, the bottom right corner. So click on it, like just click it down, moving your text around. Are you able to do that? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you able to do that? Okay. So just try to align it with your canvas. When I say align, like move it to the extent you see a red line dividing the middle of your canvas. Make sure it's still at the top. Yeah, that's an header they are creating. But maybe just look at what I'm doing first. So I'm selecting it, and can you see this red line that is showing?
Yes.
Make sure it's seated there. Okay, so just try to do that. So from here, let's say I want to remove this white background because obviously it doesn't make sense. So I also go to formats. The format is already open down. I'll go to this size and style. They're just two there, the title and the size and style on that format text box. Just make sure your format is left open. So obviously we're not changing the size and the position. You can always do that yourself with all these corner arrows. We want to change the background. Let's say we want to let's just remove the background, that white background. Or if we put that background and add, it just makes sense. This color is not sharp. So let's try to add a blue background. You can add the background of your choice, the background color of your choice, and add a transparency. Let's say 70% transparency. So just add any color that you think might go well with this color, this canvas color. Then include your transparency, or you can even leave it like that. It's up to you. Anyhow you think it will be fine. So now that we've done that, let's add a visual border. Have you done that? Have you added the background?
Yes, I've added a background.
Okay. So the visual border, if you can close that background by just clicking the drop down, then open the visual border beneath it and select on. When you select on, you see that the outline of your text becomes darker. That means you already have a border surrounding it. So make sure the visual border is on. So normally you don't have to stick with this particular design. It's up to you to design how you want it. There are some Power BI dashboards that don't have like borders for their titles. There's some they just put the title there. So it's up to you or whoever is viewing the reports. So let's see, let's just leave the color like that. Then you can add rounded corners. So let's say 3 pixels. Let me know if you've done that. Put on the visual border, then put surrounded corners to 5.
I am a bit lost. I got a call, so
Where are you?
I
Okay, can you see that visual border?
no, I'm not there yet.
Under background, you just did background bar.
Hold on. On that
Have you done
background.
background?
Okay, yeah, I've done. Okay, I've seen visual border.
Okay, so switch it on. So I was saying when you switch on visual border, you see that the outline of your title becomes darker.
Yep. Yeah.
So that shows that you already have an outline. So you can always change the color, but just leave it as black. Then increase the rounded corners. Under color, you see rounded corners. Increase it to 5. So you can add curves to the outline. This is how it looks like. So that's for that. Then usually not most times, but sometimes we put on the shadow just to add like extra design, and just to make it more beautiful or give it like a 3-dimensional look. So you can put on the shadow.
Okay.
Have you put on the shadow?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, so for this shadow, you can see offset and position. So for this offset, it's like where do you want the shadow to be, outside or inside? So you can just play around with it and see how it looks like. If I click inside, this is how it looks like. If I click outside, the shadows show outside. So you can leave it as outside or inside, whichever one you prefer. Then the position is, what position do you want the shadow to be? Bottom right, center, uh, on the bottom. So I'm leaving mine as bottom right. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Okay. Then please adjust that title so that there's a space above. There's a space, a little space above it. Can you see mine?
Yep.
Okay. So that's mostly it for text. That's mostly it for text. Then you can also bring in pictures,
Sorry,
shapes.
how do
Let's say
I
for this shape,
sorry. How do
adjust.
I adjust the space at the top?
You move it that same way you select the text to move.
Oh,
That
okay.
button that you selected, yeah, use it to move it. So just bring it down a little bit. Have you done that?
Yeah, I've done it.
Okay. So I was saying you can also bring in shapes, images. So let me try and bring in an image now. So you can try with any image that you have. Let me use this contour. So let's say you want to bring in a logo. So if you have any logo of a company, you can use that. If you have any logo of any company, you can use that and always resize or put it in a corner or something. So you know how to resize pictures normally now. So you can do that there with those corner stuff. So for this one, if you want to move it, you can always select any part of the picture. You don't select that 3 sides, but you can always either you use that one or you don't use it. It does not really matter. So I can put the logo at the corner or any picture. But yet you can also design or add more effects to the picture that you bring in with that format part. So just select it, the format to show. You can adjust the size, the padding, bring in background or not, image style, whatever. And that for like intermediate to advanced Power BI, you can like bring in action so that if you select the logo, maybe it should take you to the website, things like that. So that's like for more advanced stuff. And that's what we use buttons for. Buttons are to like take you back somewhere. Let's say this left arrow is to take it to the previous page, right arrow to the next page. Reset is to undo like filters and so on. Back is to go back to the page you're coming from. Information, maybe you have a page that has information, you can link it to that page. Same for help, Q&A, and so on and so forth. So for the last one we'll do for this is shapes. So let's say we want to bring in a shape to define our canvas. So we want all the slicers, so not like all the visuals that we have to take that shape or to bring that shape. We can, let's say, bring in a particular shape. Let's say this rectangle or this rounded rectangle. It's too rounded. Let me bring in a normal rectangle. So go to shapes, under insert, where you saw that text box, go to shapes and bring in a rectangle. So just resize it to the size of your canvas. Let some of the mustard color show. You can align it like this. You can always change the color. It's not a set color, you can always change it. So you want to change the color or change the design, select the shape, go to size and style.
Sorry,
To change this, you can.
Oh, okay.
Are you lost?
Yes. I brought in a shape, a rectangular shape now, but I think I am having a round, at the edges, a round shape at the edges.
Yeah, you brought in rounded rectangle. You can delete
Oh,
that one and go back and bring in the first one.
let me check. Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay.
Have you gotten it now? So
Yeah,
size it up and let it look something like this.
okay.
Let it look something like this. So when you are done with the size, you select the shape. So we can change the color or the background and everything. So when you select the shape, that format page is also going to show. So you can see size and style, title, shape, style, rotation, and action. So let's change the fill. The fill color is blue. Let's either switch it off or switch it on. So let's leave it on and change it to what color did you use for? I've forgotten the color we use for this. Let me see. I've forgotten the color we used for this title. Go back.
Grey.
No, I'll just copy it. So if you're in a situation, what you can do is select the what's going on? What you can do is select the text, go to that color menu, then go to more colors. It will just show you like the particular color you have currently, and you can copy it. You can do Ctrl+C for this X code. So we have 666,666. That's the color code. So I can just come to this text back, go to the format pane, under shape and shape style. So under shape style, under fill, I can change the color. So I'll select this drop down. Either I select more colors or that color that I just copied or I just selected will automatically come to these recent colors. So even if I don't copy it, the fact that I interacted with that color on the first title, it will automatically come here. So you can select it like this. So let's select it and increase the transparency. So increase transparency to, which one makes sense? Let's just do it a 5, but you can do any one you like. I don't really know colors like that.
I don't even know the color you
just that same.
Just using any color I like.
Okay, just use any color. Then increase transparency so it does not overshadow the background and so that it does not affect your visuals. So now that you have that, so obviously the border color is also blue. If I unselect it, I can see that the border is blue. So let's change that to black because the border of the title is also black. So let's change under fill, you see border. So change that to black. I think we're good with that. We can always add text.
We are not.
Right. Are you done with
color.
the fill?
No.
Okay, when you're done changing the color, add the border. You know how to add border now. The border is under fill. Fill is the. You've not gotten where?
It's changing the color. I think it's not changing on my end.
Are you on fill, not background?
On fill.
Hello?
Hello.
You're on fill bar. You have fill. Go not size and style, shape style. Are you on background?
Yes, I'm on background.
Can you see? No, not background. Please off background. Switch off background.
Okay.
Then collapse size and style. Go to shape style. When you go to shape style, you'll see fill. You see shape, fill, border, text, shadow, and glow. So when you drop down on shape style, go to fill. You see that blue color of the shape, original color of the shape.
Hold on, please.
Are you there?
Should be on canvas background, right?
No, the shape.
Oh, on shape.
The shape we brought in now, that rectangle shape. The shape we're formatting now.
Okay.
So select the shape, go to shape style, not size and style. Shape style. Drop down. Then go to fill.
No.
Then change the color to the color you want. Increase the transparency, but let it match with your canvas background. Like let it be either a shade darker to your canvas background. So like nobody's limited to this kind of design. You can design anything in here you like. Depends on you and like whoever you're working for, or whatever projects you're working on. So have you done that?
Yes, I've done that.
Then I said your border, put on your border to underfill, then change the color to black.
Okay. Yeah. That's done.
Okay. So that's all. So the rest you can always play around with it. You can put on shadow, you can put on glow, or you can leave it. It's up to you. It's up to you to like design it any how you want. Just make sure it is looking presentable and professional. So now that we have that, I think there should be a way to. Now that we have that, I'll see if I can lock it. So now that we have that, let's try to bring in our slicers. Why do I keep saying slicers? So let's try to bring in our buffs. So normally we can always copy a page. So this page that we just created now, you can always right click on that page name. Where you have page 1, page 2, page 2, page 3, that canvas design. So you can always right click on that particular page and duplicate or rename or delete or hide. For this hide, when you hide it on your desktop and you publish it, it will still show, but it will be hidden to anyone who is viewing it. You'll be able to see it, but it will be hidden to anyone else when you either send them a link or publish on PDF. So then you can move it around. So let's move this to the front. So right click canvas design, go to move to and move to front. So this is our first page now. Canvas design is our first page now. So now I want to bring in those visuals that we created, just a few of them. So you can just, which one should we bring in? Let's select a few of them to bring in. So the first one, you know how to bring in now, copy and paste. Select it, you copy and paste. First, let's bring in this slicer. We worked on slicers yesterday. This segment slicer, that should be on page 1. So copy or cut it gone because you might not need it again on the next page. So Control X, then select your page, go back to Canvas design and Control V. You can put it on this right corner. So design it how you want, but make sure it makes sense and there's space. Have you done that?
No.
Have you done that?
I tried to
Go
copy
to
it,
where
but
the slicer is.
yeah.
No, Control X.
Okay.
I want you to cut it instead. So it does not show on the second page, on the page 1. Select it first.
Yeah, I've selected it.
Then Control X. Then go to Canvas design. Select somewhere in the canvas. Obviously not the text box, so it does not affect it. Just select somewhere else in the canvas, the main canvas, then Control V. Is it showing now?
Yeah, it's showing. But
Okay, so put it on the
it shows, but
eh?
it doesn't show like after showing it brings out something synchronized visual. Sync
That means
visual.
you have another slicer somewhere. Did you copy it or you cut it? Is it still showing on the previous page?
I cut it. Let me check. It's still showing there.
And you copied it here. Cut it.
Yeah.
But normally, even if you are copying it, you can select that sync visuals. That means whatever you select here will be selected there. So if you select consumer here, consumer will show there. So it affects everything on that page too. Do you understand? So that's how that one works. But I want you to cut it, not copy it. So try again and cut it.
I've cut it now.
So just put it at this corner of your top left corner of your text, of your, not text, of your shape. So let's format this slicer now. Are you good now?
Oh, I'm not good yet.
What's the
Because
issue?
after I copied it, I cut it.
Cut it.
Is this still going to be showing the white background? Is this still going to be showing the white background?
Yes, it's will. Can you see mine?
Mine is not showing the
Can you
white
see
background.
mine?
Yes.
What's your showing?
It's showing the background of the shape I created already.
Did you select outside it?
No.
Or are you selecting? Did you select? Are you selecting the are you currently selecting the shape? Is the shape currently selected? Can you see my own? If you are selecting the shape, this is how it will show. If you select outside the shape, like that means, okay, now are you seeing the white background?
Yeah. But I'm still not seeing the white background. No.
Can you send a screenshot if you're unable to share?
Okay, I'm coming. Sorry, please. Hold on. Okay. This. Should I? Oh fuck. Okay, I will drop the screenshot on the group. Can you please check it?
Yeah, I'll check that on the group.
So I've dropped it. That's what I'm having.
And you're selected. I asked earlier if you're selecting the text box. Can you see my own right now? This is what you have.
Okay, the thing is, if I
Can you see my screen?
If I am selecting outside the text box, it brings the white background. Then if I selected
yes,
inside,
yes, because currently, sorry, please hold on. If you select inside, if you select the text box, because normally the text box is behind the slicer. The text currently now, the text box is behind the slicer. So if you select the text box, it comes in front because that's what you're focusing on. Do you get? So the shade of the text box is overshadowing the slicer. Do you get?
okay.
So you're good to go. Just instead of selecting the text box, select the slicer so we can design the slicer. So let your cursor be on the slicer instead. So select outside the text box. Let's say select beside this title. Then come back and select the text box. Can you do that?
Sorry, what do you say I should do?
Select outside the title. First, look at what I'm doing first before you do the same thing. Select outside the text box, then come back and select the slicer so that your focus is on the slicer. Or not to cause confusion, you can just delete the text box so that you're not confused because you might have the same issue. I'm just showing you like the different designs you can bring into your dashboard. So you can just delete the text box now that you're done. I'll be the shape while you're done. So just let's focus on the slicer now. So I've deleted the shape. Just focus on the slicer. Sorry, someone was saying something. There was someone talking earlier.
Yeah, I think someone was saying something earlier.
Yes,
Hello.
I was saying that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yes, good evening. Yeah, I was saying that on my end here, my screen is just static. My screen is just
Try
static here.
to.
I'm not seeing anything moving.
Can you rejoin? Might be the next. So can you rejoin
Okay, no problem.
or join through?
All right.
Join through web, because even I tried using the last time I had that issue. I was using Teams app. So try using the web.
It's the webs I'm using.
Is web we are using. So just try to rejoin, Sha, or use a different browser.
I'll rejoin now. I'll close it and rejoin.
All right. Okay.
And
So for this, So for this slicer, let's design the slicer. So just put your cursor on the slicer. Make sure it is selected. Then under format, you can see size and style. So you can always change the height, the width. Adjust padding. Padding is like the space above, space beside each of them, space beneath. Let me just show you something. If I say add a 10 pixel padding at the top, you see that there's extra space.
Sorry, please. I'm not saying the cursor
Nice.
animation or the cursor moving the way you are explaining. Everything just remain
Can you
in
see the
one
cursor
place.
now? Can you see the cursor
maybe you
now?
can move it. Let
It's
me see.
static. It's static. The
Yeah, it's
cursor is
static. It's just
not
in one
moving.
place. Just in one place. It's not following the way you are explaining.
Can you see it now? Is it moving now?
Yes, it's moving.
Hello. It's moving.
It's
And the cursor
moving.
I'm explaining, the cursor is not moving now. If the cursor I'm explaining, I'm either typing and the cursor is not moving. What I was explaining before did not need me to move my cursor. That's what I'm saying. So for this segment now, for this slicer, I'm saying if I want to increase the padding, I'm currently on padding under the format section, under size and style. So just look at that title, that segment title. If I change the padding to, let's say 20, you can see that there's a space between the segment and the outline at the top. So that's what padding does. It's like add space between the sides, or between the sides. So there's background. So let's remove the background for this slicer. So please remove the background for this slicer. Don't we need to put shadow? And put on the shadow. So put on the shadow, then change the position to center. Can you do that? Or have you done that? Hello. Has anyone done that? Okay, so I'll just continue. So we've done the shadow. Then there's a slicer settings. Under when we're done with size and style, you see title. So that title you can switch it on, and let's say add segments, whatever. But there's already a title there, so there's no need for that. So you can switch off that title back. So you can always use it if you want to like give it your own personal title. So before you do that, you have to switch off the slicer header. If you collapse everything, you see slicer header. So you can switch off slicer header or you can switch it on. But that slicer header will take the column name of that particular table. Like this one, and the column name is segment. So the slicer header will be segment. So if you don't want to name it segment, let's say you want to name it type, you can switch off the slicer header, switch on title, and rename it. So let's just leave the slicer header on. So for these slicer settings, we can always change it. You know, there are some times where you have drop down, like these drop down options that you have here. Or if you're working with dates, you can choose dates between. So normally just play around, just really, so understand Power BI, you just really have to play around it and like practice more with it. Don't be shy to press anything. Just make sure you always like save so you have like previous backup. So for this slicer setting, your slicer can be like this as vertical list or as a tile. That means like boxes that you can always select from. So you can leave it like this and select what you want. Or you can leave it as a drop down. So this drop down, you have to select this drop down and so on and so forth. But because what we're working on is very short. Also for this drop down, when you select something, there's always an eraser icon that comes up at the top right corner. I don't know if you can see it. So you can use that to clear selections. So let's just change it back to vertical lists since what we're working on is not many. It's not many. So I just adjust it and leave it at that corner. Then we can adjust the volume of the values. So we already know the header we have is Canberra. So whatever you're working with, always make sure your font is the same thing. Always make sure your font is the same thing. Your font is uniform. Your font size is also uniform. Let's say for the font size, you can still have like, let's say 3 different sizes. Maybe a bigger size for your header, a medium size for your visual titles, and a smaller size for the labels and legends and the rest. So like 3 slices, but make sure within each visual, let's say the axis name, the font size is not different from another axis, another visual. Just make sure they're the same. So one size for the header, another size for the title of the visuals, another size for the labels of the visuals. So let's change the values to Canberra. And we can adjust the font size. Let's say 10. You can change color too, but this black is okay. For the slicer header, so let's change the text. It's currently on DIN, so let's change it to Canberra too. So for this report, we'll be using the visual titles. We use 12 as our font size, then 10 as our label size. Have we done this? Please let me know.
Yeah.
Sorry, give me a minute, please. So are we done with that already?
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay, so let's bring in the other visual. So this one now we can copy everything at once now. So if you want to copy everything at once, excuse me, you select the first one, select Control. So hold your Control key down, then select the rest one by one. Select the rest one by one. Then click Ctrl X. We are cutting it or copying it. Then Ctrl V on the design page. Please let me know if we are able to do that. Select the first one, click Ctrl key down, then select the rest of them just by touching the rest of them. Then Ctrl X, then go to the Canvas design page and Ctrl V. Have we done that?
Okay. Sorry, what do you say again?
Cut the rest of the visuals and put it into Canvas design. Cut them at once so you're not delaying or like taking time. If you want to cut everything at once, select the first one, press Ctrl key down, then select the rest of them while the Ctrl key is still pressed. Then Ctrl X. Then come to Canvas design and
I think
you don't understand that.
I understand, but I'm having issues there. So I clicked on the first one.
What's the issue? It's changing. Don't click on the bar chart or on the visual itself. Let's say click close to the title, the space outside that design, all those shapes, click outside it.
Okay.
Look at my own first. Let me know if you can see my cursor. Click the space outside it. Let's say close to the title, then press Control. Go to another one, click the space outside it. Another one, the space outside the title, like that. Are you able to do that? Then Ctrl X. Then go to Canvas design and Ctrl V. So now please just arrange it properly. You can arrange it how you like, increase the height or whatever. But let your card, normally the card should be the first thing people see. If you have a card that you're using, let the card be at the top. So that's like gives a proper summary. So just adjust that card to the top. You can make it the same size as your slicer. When you're adjusting something or when you're resizing, the red line is always there to guide you. So let's say we want it to be the same size as the segment slicer. Just select the adjust parts and make it on the same line as that top of the segment. Same thing on the bottom. Like let's reduce because we'll see reduce the. So you can resize the other ones. Obviously, we should know how to align properly. Please let's know that whenever we're designing, make sure everything is aligned properly. There should not be one that is higher than the other and like try to just let me know when you're done.
Okay.
Arrange it on your end.
Arrange. audio slicer, Sha.
Eh? What did you say?
Said I'm still trying to arrange all the slicer.
Okay, let me know when you're done. I'm also bringing in the donut chart from the second page. The page. In case you want to do that, so I can fill in this parts.
Ah. Okay. Let me adjust all this.
And I'm bringing in that line chart from the last one. So Canvas design. Canvas be able to come here. Let me know when you're done.
Okay, hold on, please.
It's always stable, just in case.
You said?
I said always save. You guys should always save, just in case.
Yo. Everything does scatter. Okay.
Has anybody else done it? I've gotten there. Please let me know.
I'm still trying to. Okay. I think I have to bring in the last one. Okay. I've
Are you
arranged
done?
them. Yep.
Mhm.
At least I have all these slides are in one page, but I can always come back to arrange them later. But I have them all in one
Yeah.
space.
Mhm. Okay, so we already designed the segments. Let's see. So for this card now, let's change. Let's go to format. When you select the card, you see the formatting pane. Go to category label. That's the last option. Font. So first thing will be change their fonts to Canberra. Change the fonts to Canberra. And since that's the title of this thing, we're leaving it as 12. Since we said we use 12 as like our slicer header titles and 10 as labels. But obviously we can't use 10 for this we can't use 10 for this card because that will be very obvious. So let's first change this color to black. The color of the fonts for the category label, change the font to Canberra, change the color to font. Let's see. You can remove the bold or just leave like that. Then the call out value is that very bold value. This
Sorry,
286.74K.
please, it's like you're no
That's like
longer
bulk color.
sharing your screen. Oh.
You can
It's
reduce
like
it
you're no
to
longer sharing your
40.
screen.
Yeah, let's say 35. This is too large.
Hello, ma.
Eh, who else?
It's like
Who
you're no
else cannot see my
longer
screen?
sharing your screen.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Any other person that can't see my screen? Is there any other person? So I don't know if it is from me.
I can see your
Please, you
screen.
guys should speak up, please.
Yeah, I can see your screen, but it has been static since from my end here. It has just been static since I joined the class. I'm just totally left.
The screen is not showing. I thought I was the only one. The screen has not been showing. The screen has not been showing for almost 8 minutes now. Okay.
Yeah, Tosi is on the call. I believe maybe she wants to reshare her screen since you guys complained that. Can you hear me?
Let me see, your hand is up. Can you see my screen now? Please, can anyone see my screen now? Let me see, your hand was up.
I can't see it yet.
Is it not still showing, but
Not showing yet. Not showing. Yeah.
let me know if you can see it. If it is loading at least.
Okay, I can see your screen now, Tosin.
Okay. So we're working on the card.
For others, though.
If you can see my screen, that's fine. I think the network is just somehow. So we're going back to the card. I said change the fonts to Canberra, the font size to 35. What's this? The font size to 35, the color to black. Then this display unit is how you want the values to show. Yeah, it's just in auto. If you put none, all the numbers will show. Can you see all the numbers will show? If you put none, all the numbers will show. Let's say we want to show it in millions so that it's not be too large. We have 0.29 million. So let's just leave it as thousands so it can make more sense. Then you can add decimal places if you are using none, or if you're using billions and you have like extra zeros, just use decimal places and so on and so forth. So
My font size, the more I
eh?
put it on the font size, the font size,
Mm.
I put it on 35 and is way too big, like very big.
35 points what?
Just 35.
For your card. How small
Yeah.
is your this thing?
Hold
Okay, you
on,
can
please.
always change it, but send a screenshot so you can understand how big it is. Because normally 35 should be fine. So you can send a screenshot so I see it, or you can reduce it. So
I
that's
think
for the card. For the
when I,
line,
when I put it on 20,
eh?
I think when I put it on 20,
It's fine.
I think I love the way it looks on 20.
And so it depends on you too. So there's no, it
Let
depends
me
on you.
let me make a screenshot for you.
So let's remove the background too. So select size and style, collapse the rest and switch off background. Then you can switch on visual border. Visual border is the same as the outline.
I drop a screenshot and that's 20.
On the group chat.
Yes. And that's 20.
This is fine now. Wait, is this all your dashboard?
No, that's not hollow. Okay,
Ah,
hold on.
send me the full
I,
dashboard, please. Let me see.
okay.
Okay, so while we're waiting for that, also switch off the
Send-
background.
I've sent the
Okay.
full that.
Yeah, this actually looks fine, but you can reduce it if it is too large for you. You can also reduce it.
Okay.
This is the same as what I have. So you can reduce it if it's too large for you. Like I said, depends on you. So switch off the background, switch on the visual border. You can change the border to black. It's already on black, so you can change it or leave it how you want it. Then let's try to add shadow. I don't know, I like this shadow, so you can either leave it or add it on your end.
Sorry, you said I should switch off background.
Yeah, switch off background, switch on border. So if you switch off background, the background of the canvas will be what will be showing. So switch off background, switch on border, and switch on shadow. So just play around with it. Then let's go to that line graph. For this one, let's from size and style, let's switch off the background too. So just switch off the background, switch on the visual border. You don't need to switch on shadow. Just background and visual border. But for the visual border, let's use gray instead. So it's not the same gray as we have in the same gray we have for the title, or whatever color you choose to use, Sha. So you can leave it as black, or you can, it's up to you. But just make sure you switch off the background, switch on the visual border, then go to title. That title, let's change it to yearly profits. Yearly profit. Yeah.
Right? How about the shadow? Oops.
No, leave the shadow. Don't put on shadow, please.
Okay, the title.
Just leave it like that. So the title, change that title. You can see text, change that title to profits, yearly profits by category. Okay. Yearly profits by category. Then change the font to Canberra, the size to 12. What else? Just leave it like that. We don't need to align or whatever. So leave that title. Try to do that one first. Let me see if you have any issues, please. Oh, sure.
The font size to what?
12. Why isn't the title for each slide as 12?
Okay. Okay. Is that all for that?
Yeah.
Yearly profit.
So that's all for size and style. What's going on? Okay. That's all for size and style. So for the x-axis, this is the x-axis where you have 2020, 2021, 2022, and so on and so forth. You can always adjust the minimum date to whatever date you want, the maximum date, but let's not play around with that. Let's just leave it as it is. The values, please change the font of the value to Canberra and change this to 12. Sorry, to 10. Why isn't it labeled as 10? Then the color change to black. Leave the unit as it is. There's no unit for year. Let the title remain off. We obviously know that as year. Anybody that sees that, we know we're talking about year. Then for the y-axis, please turn off the title. For the y-axis, when you click y-axis and scroll down, you see title, turn it off. We know that is profit. So to remove this sum of profits that is showing on the y-axis, so just turn it off. We don't need title of the axis. Then for the values, you can use Canberra. Obviously, this might not make sense, but it's just for you to show you guys, because we can't deduct anything from here except you put your cursor on. Even when you put your cursor, it's not still showing. But normally this line graph should be larger than this, so you can trace what profits you have at each point in time or at each year. But just for the purpose of showing you the design, let's just leave it like that. So using Canberra for the x-axis, for the y-axis 10, change the color fonts to black. So we're done with values. Then legends. And I explained before, legends are like categories, what we use to split the data. So where do you want the legends to be? At the top left, top center, top right, and so on. So just leave it as, let's use top right. Does this make sense? I'll leave it at top left. Anyhow you like it, anyhow you want it. Then you can choose the style. There's where you have markers, circle. Circle is always the default. You can select line to identify it. You can select line and markers. You can just leave it as circle. So the text also change to Canberra. Leave as put 10. Change the color to black. So all through we're using black color. You have to use the same color for your visuals. What else do we have to design? So for your legends, to switch off the title, we don't need, we already know furniture, office supplies, and category and technology are categories. So there's no need to identify price category there again. So switch off the title of the legend. Let me know if you are stuck, please.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, then for grid lines, kindly switch it off. We don't need that. Most times we don't use grid lines because without just putting the labels.
Switch the grid lines off, right?
Yeah, switch it off. Then go to the lines. Under lines, you'll be able to see what color you want for each of them. If we select lines, you'll be able to choose the color you want. Let's say for furniture, you want a different color. Let's say for furniture now, you want, which color is sensible? Under lines, that series part, instead of all, select furniture. Then scroll down, you'll see color there. You can change the color to whatever color you want.
Sorry,
So you
your
can,
screen is just static, like nothing is moving. I'm just trying to follow your
yeah,
voice.
maybe it's network. Can you see lines?
I can see lines.
Select lines, the drop down. Can you see apply settings to series?
Yeah, then hold.
Yeah, select furniture or select any of the categories. If you want to change the color of that line, select any of the categories, scroll down. You see color there. So you can change that color to any color of your choice.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I get it.
So you can change any, but make sure the colors you're using are rhyming with the other colors on your graph. Don't go and choose color riots in the name of designing. Do you get?
Okay.
So we have that. So we're done for line, for this line graph now. We're done designing that. So our graph is, our dashboard is gradually coming alive. So let's go to, so normally to be easier, there's a way you can do all these things and easily just copy from one format to another. Please, for this page one, since there's nothing, they just delete it. That page one that will cut before you can right click the page name and select delete. So the thing before, normally it means, let's say you have 2 line graphs and you finish designing on one, you can just select that one, go to under home, you see one thing that looks like brush. Let me know if you can hear clearly. This dog is really disturbing. You see this thing that looks like brush, you can
Where?
select it.
Sorry, I don't get that.
This, I'm saying if you want to, let's say you have 2 different graphs. Let me just bring in the other graph. Let me just bring in the other graph to explain. The same graph. So we have this same graph. But let's say it's for another, but let's say we have 2 different data that we're showing, but we're using line graph for the both of them. But I've already finished designing this first graph. I've finished designing this first graph. But I don't want to now have to design the second graph again. Do you get? So what I'll do
Okay.
is I'll just select this first graph. Under home, you can see home. Under home, you can see clipboard. The first tab there, clipboard. You can see paste, this scissors, this copy, and this paintbrush. Can you see this paintbrush?
Yeah.
So select that paintbrush, then come to that new graph, that second graph. On top of the second graph, just select it. You'll see that it changes to the old one, I mean the previous one. It's showing anyhow because I'm on a different, I'm on other slides. So you can, I'm dragging it so you can see that it's like similar, maybe it's the same thing. So the font and everything will be the same. The font, the design, and anything that you applied for the first one will be the same for the second one. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. So let's go to this bar charts now. So we should already be familiar with the whole visual designing. So just try to do that on your own. So I'll just say what you should do then. You should be familiar with the whole remove background, change the font type, the font size, and so on and so forth. So the first thing we'll do for this bar chart is change the title name. So let's just remove the sum of and leave it as sales by category. Sales by category, change the font to Canberra, the size 12, color should remain black. What else? For the y-axis, the y-axis is this horizontal one. Is that horizontal or vertical? For the y-axis, change the font to Canberra, then the size to 10, change the color to black, remove the title, please. We already know it's the categories are technology, furniture, and office supplies. So remove the title. For the x-axis, do something similar thing to remove the title. For the values, change to Canberra, increase to 10, change the color to black. Then I want to explain something on these values. You can always increase or decrease the minimum range, but here it is already in auto, so I can say I want the minimum range to be here. The minimum range is 0. So I can say I want it to be 0.1 million. That's what 1 0 0 0. I always know 1 million. That's like 1. Yeah, so that's 100,000. So you can see that instead of 0.0, it has reduced a bit, it has increased to every 0.2, or like this has collapsed. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So instead of setting it as auto or saying 0, we say 0, this is how it is 0 to 0.5 million. So you can just put it as minimum of 100,000. Then you can put the unit as thousands instead of million, because that thousand can be confusing. So change that unit, the unit of the x-axis under values. You'll see display units, change to thousands. Okay, so we're already running out of time, Sha. Then there should be something like labels. So after I'm done with that, remove the grid lines. After grid lines, you see zoom slider, you see bars. For these bars, you can always change the color of your bar charts to whatever color you want. So that's up to you. You can change the color of the bar charts. You can increase transparency and so on. Then you see ribbons, you see data labels. This data labels is important. You can always put on the data labels and switch off completely the x-axis. So let's try that. If you switch on the data labels, go back to x-axis and switch off values. So you only have the categories and the data labels showing. So under data labels, let's change to Canberra. Let's change the values. Please let me know if you are lost or something.
Okay.
Okay. Then change this to black. We can make it bold so it's more visible. If you are done with that, let me know, please. So we can move to the next.
Data labeling. Sorry, how do I take the data labeling in? I can
In as
see.
in, you want to take it inside, not
Yes.
outside or what? Okay, you can select, where is it? Okay, not it so. To be somewhere around here. Okay. When you select data label, can you see options after apply settings too? Can you see after that? Can you see options? Can you see options and position?
Okay, I get that. I don't know.
Yeah, so you can select it and select inside and outside end. Yeah, select inside end. Then please remove the background. We forgot to remove the background. So you can go back to size and style. Go back to size and style and remove background.
Don't talking so much.
So let's just do one more. Then let's do, which one will be difficult? The other ones are pretty much the same. Let's try this table. Please save your work. So select the table. Let's format that. Remove background. The values should be Canva. The values should be Canberra.
And I can play too.
You can also remove totals, or you can leave it. But since we already have totals, you can mute so that the noise does not enter the recording in case other people are watching. Okay, thank you. So the totals, you can also switch up the totals since we already have totals as sum of profits here. What else can we do? So for these values, you can always change the background color. This text color is a text color of this. So please let's use black. We're maintaining it as black. Background color. The background color, there's alternate background color. So you can see like showing white, gray, white, gray, white, gray. So you can always change this to maybe blue, alternate background color, pink, but it's up to you. So let me do that. So it's up to you. Then the title, you can leave the title, or you can add profits by city. But it's very obviously city and profits. Then column headers, please change to Canberra. So whatever value you're seeing, shall just be changing to Canberra. Text color black. Options. Then you can make changes to, instead of making changes to all the columns at once, you can make changes to specific columns. So under column headers, you see totals. Under totals, you see specific column. So let's say we want to change this sum of profits. Want the text to be in the middle. You can change this to middle. You can change it to the side. Display unit, you can put it as thousands, as millions, or as none. Just play around with it. Decimal places, let's remove this decimal place. So I'm putting 0 there. So just play around with it. Then most times, if you want to change the title of the headers on the column, you have to do that from this build. So you select build. You can see columns here. So you can double click it to change the title. So after clicking build, I'm coming to under columns, I'm coming to sum of profits. Double click it, and I just rename it as profits. So it's just sitting on profits that shows on the table, and I can resize it. So just everybody, you guys can just play around with it and come up with designs. So do the rest for the others to remove the background so that everything aligns properly. Then add this border. I forgot to add border to the bar chart. We're using gray. It's gray. Add border to the bar chart. Add the table. All do this in there. Then shall add border. So let's quickly do the pie chart. So we can call it the day. Then we can design the rest on our own. So I'm removing the background, adding visual border using gray. Then the title, I'm changing it to quantity by region. Move this sum off. I'm changing Canberra to Canberra. Header is 12. Text is black. I already have that. Change the legend. We can remove the title of the legend. Then change the text to Canberra. Why isn't it enter? And black. The data, the labels are already automatically on, so we can always change it. Either outside, you want them outside, you want them inside. All those different options. Do you want to see just the data value? Do you want to see just the percentage of the total? Do you want to see just the category and data value, or category, percentage, and total? It depends on you. So you also adjust the values, change it to Canberra. Not compulsory everybody uses Canberra. Just make sure whatever font you're using, if the font you're using for all that is on your design board, on your canvas. And make sure it's something that you can always use. Like this 23 now, we can't see properly, so you cannot adjust your font. So allow it to view it, or you change. If it's still not showing, you can change it. Let me resize it so it's able to show. There's no So yeah, you can adjust the slices, the color of the slices, the spacing. You can increase it or decrease it. It's up to you how you want it. So that's basically it. So everybody should just try to design whenever they're free. So the assignment should just be to replicate something like this, then submit the screenshots to the group chat on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, everyone can like troubleshoot whatever issues anyone is having. We'll go through it together. Everybody can share their screen and we explain properly. That'll be for Tuesday. So for Tuesday, everybody share something like this. You can take this. Let me just drop the screenshots. Or I'll complete this, then I'll share the screenshots. Then you guys can replicate it for putting your own designs, different colors and so on. Or make sure you have your own logo and everything else. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.
Hello, Tosin. Sorry. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I just have a question. The last class, you told me that I missed out a step. That was why I could not follow up for last class. So when I went back to the video, when you told us to bring in the product, because I had to delete my product data. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I had to delete my product and customer. Okay. I had to delete my product and customer data from the Power BI. So I tried to bring it in again. So I saw the page where you told us that when we are bringing our product data, we should use the HTML instead of the other one. There are two. But when I tried to bring in my own, I did not see that HTML. When I click on to import it into the Power BI, it's not coming. But when I go to my file, I can see that it is true. But when I try to bring in, it's not coming out. So I'm thinking probably that's where the mistake is coming from. Because I don't really know what the issue is. Why my product is bringing column 1, 2, 3 instead of the name of the column. It's just bringing 1.
Okay, because you're selecting the wrong file type. Share your screen, please.
I can't hear it
together. You're selecting the wrong file type when you're importing. You know it's your laptop.
No, my laptop is not connecting to the meeting, so I have to use it. I can hear you.
Okay, I'll say to share your screen so we'll connect together. I said I would have said you should share your screen so we can all connect together.
Connecting to the meeting, so I have to use my.
Okay. So instead of selecting the HTML, just select the other file type. Select CSV.
Should I send a screenshot of
select
what is going on? Or what?
The network is lagging in my end. Select instead of selecting this, select CSV. The network is already going off. Select CSV instead of selecting the other file type.
I'll send you a screenshot of what I'm doing. I'll send you a screenshot.
That'll be till Tuesday because
I'll send you a screenshot.
Yeah, till Tuesday. I'm very busy tomorrow.
No, you know, if
I try selecting CSV.
If I don't get it right today, I won't be able to work on the dashboard. You know, that was why you pulled me out from the class yesterday or Friday. So if I cannot get that thing right, there's no way I can do my dashboard.
I'm telling you now, select CSV instead of selecting that second file type. Can you hear me? When you click get data.
Yes.
Can you hear me? When you click get data, go to more.
Yes, instead I can hear you.
The file type is selected. Was it XML?
No, it's the CSV slash this thing. That's what I selected.
Okay, no, let me just share my screen and show you one more time. So just pay attention. Then you can try to re-download that file. Maybe like you mistakenly edited it. So let me know if you can see my screen.
Well, if I go to my document and I click on product, it will show the two. It will show the first one and it will show the web
Okay, can you see
version.
my
But
screen?
when I try to
Can you see my screen? Let me see. Can you see my screen?
no, I cannot see your screen. My network is very bad today.
Okay.
I can't see your screen. I can't. Okay, it's showing up now. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I want to show you one more time. So like when you're done with this class, you can just watch the end of these videos. So go to get data. Can you see, is my cursor showing or is it interacting? Go to get data. Go to more. So what I said is you either select for that product, you either select CSV or you select XML. So to be safe, I'll just select CSV. Connect.
The screen is not even moving from my end. Maybe I have to go and watch it after the class.
Okay, you connect. What did I put my data now? Desktop, data sets, product data, and product is showing for XML. So if it's not shown on your end after you select CSV, try to go and download it back from the source. I'm like you said, you watch it after the class now. If it does not download on your end, if it does not show on your end, try to re-download the file from where you download. Maybe like you mistakenly press something there. Then you click transform data. So just watch the end of this video when Wakilat sends it. Then you have this column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. You select use first row as headers. You also did this when you're doing data cleaning, so this should not be an issue. You select use first row as headers. You can obviously see when you have the headers on that product, you can see, well, you said we cannot see it. On row 1, you have product ID, category, subcategory, but the column headers have column 1, 2, 3. You select use first row as headers. When you're doing data cleaning, they explained that. So you select use first row as headers. That's why you had that data cleaning course. So you'll be able to apply that understanding when you come across data sets like this that are not cleaned. Select first row as headers and you're good to go. If it is the other one, if it is the other source, go to more, go to XML, select connect. You see product data is also showing. You select it. Then you select the data, select row. Under navigator, you see row there. Select the row icon. Click OK. This one, it even automatically puts all the headers, all those product ID category and subcategory as headers. And so whatever, then you can now rename it as product. So whatever issue you're having, make sure you have the right, like the data set was not tampered with. Try to re-download it. So you can either use CSV or use the XML. But when you use either of them, one of that data will surely show. Then it's up to you to now clean it. Either you have to promote the first row as headers, like you taught in that data cleaning course, so that those categories can show. And for that sales data, the issue with that sales data, like you're not seeing numbers, is because you do not change the data type. For here now, you can see the data type, dates. The data type for dates is dates here. We change data types that day. For shipping days, we selected 1 to 3, this whole number.
Okay.
And so on. You also taught in that data cleaning class too now. So I don't think it should even be an issue again after going through that class. You should be able to clean the data, even if it does not come out right. So just if you have any issue, just text me. If I'm free, I'll be able to respond.
Right. Thank you very much, Tosin. So sorry to pull you back. Thank you very much. I'll have to go and rewatch this thing. Okay. Do what you've said. Thank you.
Good night.
Nice. Thank you.
But this thing is getting, it's very disrespectful. You know what? Just wait. Let me go and confront him. Wait, you're my friend. Let me confront him. Let me know why he did that.